We just created one project, is it not? So I just added a home page quickly here. So before that, just to make a for information under static SRC main resources, there is a static folder. Okay, there is a static folder. So I just added CSS and images. I just added CSS and images folder. Static will be there. You need to add the CSS and images. Okay, and I added one style sheet, my style.css, and some images I have added. I added some images. Fine. So this is the changes I did. In the application properties, we already specified this. Where is your static things? Images and CSS. It's under resources slash static. Spring.mec.static path pattern resources slash static. So suffix we have specified .jsp and it should be on the views folder. So web app and views we need to create. Web app and views folder we need to create. By default it will not be there. Only web app will be there. So only SR main will be there. Web apps and views we need to create. So we have created a JSP file. We have created a JSP file previously, bitpay.jsp. So that much we have done previously. Now I created a index.jsp file. Index.jsp file within views only. If you remember in Spring MVC, it was outside the views. By default, it was created. But here, everything will be under views, all the JSP files. So here we have this index.jsp created. It's a normal JSP file. We have a link to the style sheet here. So just observe the path. Actually, it is in resources static CSS. Resources static CSS, is it not? Static resources static CSS. What is this? Name of my web application. That's the name of your web application. Where is it? This one. Not your project name. Not your project name. So whatever I specified here, that is the path. Okay. So don't get confused. So we are referring to this. So we just have an index.jsp file. And I just given and I put an image. I just put one image. You can just look here. I also given a background in the CSS only. Background image I given the CSS. So inventory resources static images. This image tag, and I given a hyperlink. What we did yesterday. So that's why I'm just getting this image, this heading, all those things. So when I click on Bitcoin rates, it will take to my this particular page. This we designed previously. Okay, so this much we have modified. So I'm just showing you how to put an image to your web application, how to put a CSS to your web application. So like that. Okay, so this is what we're just trying to do. My style and some images we have put. So you can just look here. I've given a body, background, image, all those things we have done it. Here also we're just specifying the same thing. So we're getting an output here. So in the controller, I replace that that message was getting so that I replace with the return index. So request, of course, it will go to the front controller, then it will come to the controller, then it will give the response. Okay, so response will be through what? Views, and that's a JSP file. So what is this? This returns the JSP views. So that is why the get mapping for slash for the root. Okay, it is taking me to this. You can just localhost 8085 slash inventory. So when I just give that this much, it will take to the index.jsp file. This is equivalent to what? www.amazon.in. In a World Wide Web, it will be equivalent to www.amazon.in. So we are not hosted or deployed our website on a real-time server. So that's why we are giving it as localhost 8085 slash inventory. So when I just say inventory, it will open what? Index.jsp. Why? We are given it to root. Okay. So what is this? Mapping to root of web app. So if you directly try to open this pages, it will not display in a browser. It will not display in the browser. I mean, it's a run as yesterday's case. Run on web server. I open some page and just say run on web server. No, it will basically migrate through which one? Through mapping names. Any JSP files will be opened in a browser through mapping names. You cannot run any page, say run on server. It will not work. So this is how I open an index page. Got it? Simple. This is how open an index page. So what I did, I created an index.jsp file, applied CSS and images. Then in the controller, I wrote this particular method. Then it will display the JSP file or a home page. Basically, home page. You can just see now the name I have given here. View home page. Method name. Of course, we are not accessing this. I'm accessing the root. So that is why we are getting this home page. So from here, when I click on this, you can just see here in the index.jsp, I have given bitpay. What is this bitpay? Mapping name of the which returns JSP file bitpay. Just look here. The method name is something else. It's not related to this only. It is giving what view products. Got the point, huh? But it will display what? bitpay.jsp based on this mapping name. So in the index.jsp, we are given this mapping name. So it will go to this method and it will return bitpay.jsp. So what is the bitpay.jsp? Which will fetch the data from the bitpay.com API rates. So we are formatting it and we are displaying it. We are formatting and we are displaying it. So this much we are done. Okay. So now we'll go further. I will just try to perform the interaction with the database. We'll just try to perform interaction with the database. Okay. So for that we'll be using what? Spring Data JPA. For that we'll be using Spring Data JPA. So just to recap, we have just added previously now in the pom.xml. The pom.xml, we just added that SpringBoot starter data JPA. Then MySQL connector. Then MySQL connector. So these two things are required. So previously I had commented it. I just uncommented that. Okay. So these two things are required. And you might have observed after making changes, we are not restarting the server. So server will be restarted automatically because of this Dev tools. Otherwise, each time you need to restart the server as we did yesterday. So today it's not happening. It will automatically restart. We are not restarting again and again. So that's the difference you should be knowing. So next, as I told you, we need to go to application.properties. Yeah. So this is the database properties. So I'm specifying the database URL. So spring.datasource.url. Okay. So here I need to specify my SQL. So URL JDBC colon MySQL localhost 3306 inventory. So this is the database I have created inventory. So it's an empty database inventory 0 bytes. Okay. So JDBC colon MySQL localhost 3306 inventory. So it uses this driver. This is this driver. You can just see a spring.datasource.driver class name. Dialect. MySQL dialect. Okay. Then username and password. Okay. So this will just change it to MySQL 5. Let's see that. So now all these things previously we gave in XML file. We gave this in a XML file. But this is in the form of properties. This will be in the form of properties. Okay. So this database configurations will be taken by the server when you want to connect to the database. Clear? Yeah. So we have a controller. Now we'll create a model class. We'll just try to create a model class. Okay. So under inventory, I'll create a new. Before that, I'll just create a packages just for understanding. We'll just try to create a packages. Yes, inventory dot model. Inventory dot model. Hmm. Next, one more package. Controller is already created. MVC. M is done. Views is already there. C is already there. Next, we require two more classes. Okay. One is called as DAO. One is called as DAO class. Is it not? So the DAO package. So extra class we require, that is nothing but called as extra package. It's called as service. Service package. Dot service. Service package. Next, we'll create one more package with a name repository. It is equivalent to DAO. It's equivalent to DAO. Okay, which will connect to the database. Which will connect to the database. So just look at this. We have created controller, model, repository, and service. We created model, repository, and service. So if you just check this diagram, look into the Spring Boot part. We'll have a controller plus we'll have a model. This will use the model. Okay. Next we have service layer. You can just look at we have in the middle service layer. Then you have Spring Data JPA. This is about repository. This is a repository that will connect to the database. To the database. So we create a layers for that. Controller is there. Service is there. Repository. This. This is nothing but DAO. Repository is nothing but equivalent to DAO. So what did you wrote in DAO? The previous case? Hibernate code. The previous case we wrote the Hibernate code. The we wrote what? JDBC. Here we are in the JDBC code. And one side we will write in the JDBC. So we have a model. We have a model. So here we'll create a model. Okay. So we have a class. We'll create this model class with the name product. We'll just try to save the product to the database. We'll just try to save the product details to the database. So this is the product. Okay. This object will just try to save it and we will define this properties. We'll define this properties. Okay. So we'll generate constructor, default constructor basically. And generate getters and setters. Generate getters and setters. So now this is fine. This we did previously also. A model class with a constructor or getters and generate getters and setters. So what is the first thing you need to do now? Entity. Okay, this is the first thing you need to do. So it is giving as Jakarta persistence. Okay, because of the Spring Boot version, we can use it. Not an issue. So I'm just selecting this as Jakarta persistence dot entity. Okay. So next we have a primary key field. We'll be using ID. We'll be using the ID. So for that also. Okay. Next. Why it is not giving processes? Yeah, so now it's getting generated value. So strategy generation type dot identity. So this we done previously, is it not? So this is how we are just giving the entity, then the primary key. Automatically it has to be generated. Okay. See, already we are given this in the previous examples when you work with the Spring and Hibernate. Same thing we are just using here. It's a part of Jakarta persistence. So now in the application dot properties, we already have given that the table should be created automatically. We have to give that. Okay. So in this case, we are not given that. We need to create that properties where it tells the table should be created automatically. Okay. So this is the statement. Hmm. So here, this basically you need to understand this is a Hibernate property. This does not belong to the your MySQL. This is a Hibernate properties. Hibernate properties. So we're just adding this Spring JPA dot Hibernate dot DDL auto equals update. Okay. So as I told you, JPA we cannot directly write use it. We should use it the Hibernate. Okay. So that's why I'm just telling you Spring dot JPA dot Hibernate DDL auto update. Okay. So for the first time, we'll make it as create. Let it create each time. When it is stable, we'll update, change it to update. Fine. So we have a model class, we have a database properties set, and we have a Hibernate properties set. Hmm? So Hibernate, if you want, you can just set as Spring Data JPA. Spring Data JPA properties. Fine. So this much we need to do. So now we have created a model, is it not? We have created a model. Hmm? So once this is done, what is our next job? We need to create a DAO repository stuff. We need to create a repository stuff. So what is this repository? As I told you, DAO. Okay, it's a DAO. It will make connect to the database using the properties of application dot properties here, whatever is specified here. So now we'll go to the repository package. We'll go to the repository package and I'll create a new interface. New interface. Just make a note of this. Only repositories will be interface. Then everything will be class. Then everything will be class. So what is Spring Data JPA? It consists of predefined interfaces. It consists of predefined interfaces. So I'll just select this interface. Next. So I'll just create a interface with the name product repository. Product repository. Okay, I'm creating an interface with the name product repository. For saving the data of the product class. For saving the data of a product class, I'm just trying to create an interface with the name product repository. Here, there is one action, option to add interfaces. To add the extended interface if there is an inheritance. Okay, that I'll add it manually. We can also add it from here. If you want, you can also add it from here. Here, just click on add. Means this interface will extend another interface. Finish. As of now, I'm not doing this. So now, I'm just adding extends JPA repository. Extends JPA repository. So this JPA repository is predefined or inbuilt in Spring Data JPA. It's predefined in Spring Data JPA. Okay. And it has, we need to define two parameters for that. So remember, in this Spring Data JPA, we have two little things. And this internet all of the methods to perform methods to perform thread operation correctly. This is what it does. This methods to perform thread operations are here we need to specify the type for which class you are creating a JPA repository. So I'm creating a JPA repository for which one? Product class. And specifying the product class. Okay. And here I need to specify the name of the data type of the primary key fields. I need to specify the data type of the primary key fields. The second part. I'm creating an interface with the name product repository. Okay. Why I'm creating this? To perform database operations on product object. To perform database operations on product object, which extends JPA repository. Okay. So that's what we are specifying the name of the class and data type of the primary key fields. Okay. So we're just defining a JPA repository for product class. Okay. To perform what? Database operations. To perform database operations. To perform database operations. Okay. Here, what is long? Data type of ID fields. Long is nothing but what? Data type of ID field. If if it was integer, you have to give integer only. But remember, it should be of type wrapper class. You can't give L small long. That's the primitive type, right? You need to give the type of the wrapper class only. Always remember here. This should be always wrapper class type. Long, integer, float, F capital like that. So not of primitive type. Primitive type means what? Integer, int, sorry. I small, int. Instead of that, you have to specify wrapper class. It will take the parameter of type only wrapper class only. Now, what is the beauty of this interface, people? This interface has predefined methods. Okay, it consists of what? Predefined methods for database. For database operations. So what is this database operations? It can be anything. For example, CRUD. For example, CRUD operation. Saving your data, updating your data, deleting your data, displaying your data. For everything, we have a. So my DAO class is finished. Only this much. I'm not writing any queries. We are not writing any queries. Connection is already there. Where? The application.properties. Connection properties are already there. So here in Hibernate also you just saw. We're creating a configuration object, session factory object, all those things, and writing a query. But here also we have entity manager factory and entity manager. But you need not create that. It will be automatically configured. You just so no writing of code here. You just require a product repository which extends JPA repository and for which class and the data of the ID field. Why this is important? ID field. Because if I want to delete a record, on what basis I'll be deleting? ID field. If I want to search a record, on what basis you are searching? ID field. Like normally in companies or colleges, how do people search your information? Based on your roll number or something like that. Of course, roll number will be what? ID field. So like that. That is why it is important. That's all. So now I'll go to the service layer. I'll go to the service. So in the service layer, I'll create a new class. Remember that is the interface. We'll create a new class with the name product service. With the name product service. I'm creating a class with the name product service, and we are giving an annotation as service. This class should be annotated with service and transactional and transactional. Okay. So here, from here, we are accessing the database methods. From here, we will be accessing the database method. This is important. So this is the intermediate layer between the controller and DAO. Between the controller and DAO or repository. Okay, we are not supposed to directly write a code without service class. So from controller, service, and from service to repository, and repository to which one? DB, database. Okay. So what you should be doing here? Here, we need to create an instance of the DAO, the repository. So private product repository, prepo. I'm creating an instance of the product repository. I'm creating an instance of the product repository, prepo. Just now we created na iska instance. So I will be doing now what? What is this called as? I'm using auto wide annotation. What is it called as? Anyone? Yes, we're doing dependency injection. Good. We're doing dependency injection. So which are the different ways how we can perform dependency injection, people? Got it. So in the previous exam, in the Spring framework, I told you how to do the dependency injection will be. Dependency injection will be fields. So I'm creating an instance of that, people. So now, I'll create a method with the name save product. First of all, we'll try to save a product. Okay. First of all, we'll try to save a product. Okay. I'm just trying to save a product, which will take the parameter of type a product object, which will take a parameter of type product object. Is it not? P-wrapper dot. So what is P-wrapper? Instance of product repository. Instance of product repository. P-wrapper dot save. Just look at people. Here we have various methods. These are all the methods of which one? Product repository. Sorry, JPA repository. Dot save. So what I'm saving? Save product object to database. Save product object to database using save method of what? JPA. We're just trying to save product object to database using save method of JPA. Okay. So what is this, people? Who has written that? It's all in JPA repository. You just extend that interface and you just call that. And we're just trying to save the product. Clear? So here, in the product repository, I told you, right? The predefined methods. So which are the predefined methods? Save. One is save. Okay. Then delete by ID. Delete by ID. Next, find by ID. Next, find all. Find all. So save is for saving. Delete by ID. Delete based on ID. Okay. So find by ID. If you want to find a record by a ID field, find all to get all the records. These are all predefined where. So I'm using that. I'm calling that from where? From the service class. So p repo.save. So the product object is saved to the database. Through which one? So we never wrote the code for saving. We are just extending it. We're just trying to extend it. So that's the beauty of JPA repository, Spring Data JPA. Okay. So we'll reduce lots of code in Hibernate, and here in Spring Data JPA, again, we are reducing lot of code. The service layer. So now we'll go back to controller. So in the controller, we have a BitPay controller. I can write the code here only. I can write the code for saving the product here itself. But instead of that, I'm creating a new class. Instead of that, we are just trying to create a new class with the name what? Product controller. All the product related activities I'll do in product controller, like that. So for this, the service class is which one? Product service. The repository class is product repository. So like that. So what is your first job? Give this annotation as controller. The first job is to give this annotation controller. So next, we need to create an instance of product service and do the dependency injection. Okay. So private product service, P service. And here I'm just giving auto wired. I'm just giving auto wired. Same whatever we did previously. Now we need to use what? The object of this. Okay. So we're just trying to save a product. Is it not? We need to give what? Post mapping. We need to use post mapping. So save product. Okay. So I'll give the endpoint as save product. Yeah. Before that, I need to create one more method. First of all, I need to display the form. First of all, I need to display the form. Okay. Then only we can save the product. We want to display the JSP file, is it not? So we return the backend now. We return the backend. So before this, we need to create a JSP file. Yeah. So in the views, we have two files now. Now we'll create a JSP file. New JSP file. So products. Add product. Okay. I'll just give the create a file with the name add product. I'll create a JSP file with the name add product. So yesterday I was talking about the Spring MVC tags. So today also we'll be using that only. So for that, we're adding this Spring MVC form tags and JSTL tags. Okay. Then yeah. So we have a form for product, entering the product name, brand, made in and price. Okay. Is it the same what we have there? Yes. Name, brand, made in and price. This will be automatically generated. This will be automatically generated. So we are creating a form finding that products. Name, brand and made in and price. Okay. So just look here. This will take model attribute as product. This will create a model attribute of type product. Okay. We need to create an object of which one? Product. And you need to pass on to here. Yeah. So that is the thing. So here. So form is ready. So in the product controller, which we created, I just want to display that form first. I want to display that form. Okay. So public string show product add form. So for just for my understanding, I'm just giving method names like that. So when this call is method is called, it should show. That's what it should show the new form. So that's why I'm just giving show product add form. Hmm? So here I need to create an instance of that. We need to create a instance of the product object first. Product equals. Why? Because we are using which one? Spring MVC forms. Then next, what should be done? Model. So I need to add the attribute, right? So return, what should be the form name? Add product. Add product. Yeah. So model dot add attribute. So what are you adding? Product. Okay. So this is referring to which one, people? Yeah. This is what we did yesterday also. The product controller. We're just trying to add product. So I'm just giving the map to add product. This will be the mapping name. Okay, this is also same. Huh? So new, for example, I'm just giving new. New products. Let us get mapping new product. We will create an instance of a product. Okay, and using the model, we'll add the attribute. This will be returned. So what this has? Returns what, people? Returns view plus what? Product object. Returns view plus product object. So this is the mapping name, new product. So it should show the form. It should show the form. So index.jsp here. Add new product. So it's a problem with the driver. Remove that. com.mysql.cj.jdbc drive. Okay, it should be com dot. That's org. That's the thing. Com dot mysql dot cj dot jdbc driver. So now we'll start the server. Yeah, no errors. Okay, there's a spelling mistake. So my application has been started. It's com.mysql.cj.jdbc driver. So we'll just try to access that. I'll just refresh. So add a new product. So we'll see the console. Okay, as soon as you get error, just check the console. Okay, the problem is JSTL. The problem is with the JSTL. Okay, we are at JSTL tags. Means I have not used here. Actually, for this page, we don't require. Go to the next page, I require. So that's why it is giving error for JSTL. So we need to add the JSTL tag. Okay, so go to the pom.xml. So from yesterday, we use this JSTL. Same, I'll just add it here. Copy. So make sure that these two are extra. Okay, JSTL and Tomcat embed Jasper. This is basically for what? JSP. Hmm? For JSP views. These two tags, both. So next we'll check So I'll just once I'll do the map and update. So remove the version. Okay. For this also, please remove the version. It's not required. Error. Okay, I'll do one thing. I just remove this tag as of now. Pantry. Okay, for this JSP file, actually that tag lib is not required. Okay, only for the next file we require. Okay, so later we'll see that. So we're just trying to create a new product. The form is loaded. When I click on add new product, the form is loaded. You can give CSS, background, all those things. That's up to you. That's all we written a code. We're not written a code for saving the data. We just created a controller for loading the page. Only there is when there is an interaction with the database, then we have service layer, model, and repository. Just to load a form or a JSP file, I don't require any service model and model I require. I don't require anything else. Okay, so you might observe here, we just require in the controller, I only this much. So I'm able to display the add product. So now we'll write a code for saving the product. Okay, we're just writing the code for the saving the product. So this will be the code for saving the product. Save product. So here we'll be using post mapping. Here we'll be using post mapping. Okay. So in the form add product, no? Just look here, we give an action as save. Just save. So this name you need to specify in the controller here. Post mapping. Sorry. So here it should be P service. Just understand. Should be P service. So the P service, what we have a method called as save product, which we created. And for that, you are passing this product object. Okay. Save product. So when you click on that form, now that product object will be taken, and that we are just trying to save to. Yes. So this is where we're invoking what here, people? Invoke service method. We're invoking service method. Just understand. from the controller, from the form. This is a form. When you click on submit, it will go to the save controller method with the save mapping. Okay. So you have a save product. It will take that attribute product. Okay. Here it is referred as this product, and that will be passed on to the save products method. So where is save products method? The service class, save product. This will invoke. You understand the flow? Yeah. So now, so this should go to the products.jsp. We'll create one JSP file. So that telling added successfully. So new JSP file, products, product list. Hmm. So I'll just give a message here, success. Later we need to change it. Okay. Yeah. So just look here. It should redirect to product.jsp file. So I just created one file, products.jsp, just displaying success. In the meantime, the data should go and store it in a JSP file. Data should go and store it in a JSP file. Okay. So add new product. The optical mouse. For example, brand Logitech, made in Finland. For example, price 750. This is my data. Okay. We'll just see. Did you get it? Huh? Just lines. But no error. Just look here. No endpoints. Get inventory products. No mapping for get inventory products. Okay, data is saved, I think. Data is saved. We'll check that. Oh, it's problem with the products display. It's problem with the products display. Okay. Inventory, I'll just refresh. Yes, my table product is created. Price, ID, brand, made in optical mouse. Only error was the JSP file was not displayed. Means you were writing na code. Because I saw here, just look here. Get for products is not there. We are not written any controller method for displaying what? This is what I told you. Any JSP file will not be displayed as it is. We require a controller method. But my this operation is finished. Till here it is finished. I did not get any error. I just got a simply that get error, get message that mapping is not there. So we written this now. There should be a controller for that, controller method for that here only. So that is not displayed. So just look here. This is happening. So my data is saved here. Huh? So one more product. Hmm? Fine. Click on save. So now we'll look the refresh. Okay. So we're able to successfully connect to the database without writing any queries. Only creating many files, many layers. This you should understand. This is the object which you want to save. Just to get the idea, people. We just created a model. So this is the object I want to save. And here we are given ID and this should be entity. This should be an entity. So next we created a repository, product repository, which extends JPA repository. So it's a predefined, it's a part of Spring Data JPA, which is having the predefined methods for database operations. And we are not writing any code. Next, we create a service class, which is annotated with this, and we are calling the JPA repository methods here with the instance of product repository. And we're saving that product. So what happens here is when you click on submit button, you'll enter the details and click on submit. Now, so what happens here in the index.js products, new product.jsp, right? You add product.jsp. Here, whatever you enter, na, that will be taken as model attribute object. An object is created and that is passed on to save. What is save? It's a mapping name for a method to save a product. Okay. So that product is taken here with a model attribute. It is same as your taking a request attribute from the form, and here it is referenced as product. And that product we are passing on to which one? Service method. Got it? Controller, service, and process. Here it is. So from the form to controller to service, repository to database. This is the flow. So we are creating an MVC based application. That is why we have different layers. Model, view, controller. The service class is the extra one, so that you are not supposed to directly interact with the Java or repository from a controller. The controller should just implement what? Navigation policy. So there is a service layer which will interact with the database. Okay. So from the service, we are actually calling the CRUD operations. This is actually calling the CRUD operations. Yeah. So I'll just try to insert few records. That's enough to. Now we will see, try to display it back. I will just try to display it back. So for that, which method will use? Find all. We'll use a method called as find all. Hmm? Yeah. So where you should write call this method? Where you should call this method? In the service class. In the service class, we are just calling that particular method. So this is a method. Of course, this will return what? List. Morning we created did the same thing. What is that? Employee. We created employee object and return, right? So there also we created a list. So list, we are creating a method called as list all. Of return type, this. We return the list of type product. So p repo dot find all. It is equivalent to what? Select star from products. This is equivalent to select star from products. But we are not writing any code. We are using the predefined method of the JPA repository. We are using the predefined method of JPA repository. Yes. So now we'll call it from the controller. Now we'll try to call it from the controller. So this is a method. Speech. Got it? So as soon as you add a new product, as soon as we add a new product, it should take us to which one? This products. Okay, redirect to products. So it is going here. Here we are calling list all method. We are calling a list all method. So this will return a list. This will return a list from the service class. Now this will return what? List of type product. From the service class, this will return list of type product, and that we are adding to the attribute. We're adding as an attribute. List products is adding as an attribute to this name, and this has what now? View plus product list. Got it? This has now view. View is product itself, which we need to create, as well as it has some product list. Okay. So this product list, from where it is coming? From the service method. Service method is calling which one? JPA repository method. Which is that? Find all. So find all will interact with what? Database. Got the point? So what is the flow here? Request, controller, service, same thing. So, but the return type is different. In this case, we just want to save the product. That's all. But here, once it is doing the call there, I want to return it. And what we are trying to return? A list of products. And that list of products is attached to the view through model.add attribute. And now list products is in this particular JSP file. Okay. So now we'll create a JSP file, products.jsp. So here we require JSTL, which was giving error. We'll just try to solve it. So here we require JSTL because there will be many products, right? I need to traverse the product list. So what I require? The for loop, the for each loop of the JSTL. So that is why we are using the JSTL tags. That's why using the JSTL tags. So are you getting what is the use of now Spring Data JPA? What is the difference now from the previous technologies to this? From JDBC, plain JDBC, then in Servlet also we used. Then again after that we used Hibernate. Now we are using Spring Data JPA in SpringBoot. Is it useful? Or you want to use JDBC only? क्या हो रहा है? Huh? The whole project went for a toss. Huh? Yeah, where is this SRC main Java? Look, my. Okay, here it is showing. It's not here. Refresh, huh? Hey, no, man. Yesterday it was happening, na, to you guys somewhere. Hey, guys. Huh? Yeah? Huh? Properties. No, no, I'm getting this first time in my. Actually, you people are same issue. Is it because of just others? Again, problem just TL, just a minute. Jakarta, just a minute. Yes. Just a minute. Each. Huh? Sorry? Yeah, just 5 minutes. Otherwise, we'll go. Different. Huh? Oh, no, no, we'll find this. This is a better, no? It's problem with the JSTL new version. Jakarta. Problem with the Jakarta. We are using Jakarta, na? So that JSTL is old one is not taking. That's all. But still, whatever I entered, na? Oh, it was create, huh? Each time it is. Okay, fine, no issues. When it change update. Okay, I think we'll call it a day and tomorrow. If you are getting, I'll upload this in the Cloud Lab. I will get it just. Yeah, you're coming tomorrow, right, everyone? We'll be here only, right? So tomorrow we'll deal with the rest. Same thing we'll do with the rest. Okay. So we'll try to perform edit all those things. Then after that we'll do rest. Hmm? Yeah. So then go to the lab. Okay, lab.